Hello everyone and welcome to Daily Game Review number 23. In today's game we have the Ghost 13Q versus Minotti 12Q. And what do you know, it's another handicap game. What are the odds of that? Two handicap games in a row. Alright, so we have the Ghost taking 2 stones as a 13Q against a 12Q. That's a little weird. Against Minotti, and we'll see how it goes. Remember, guys, as white, you should not panic and just play solidly and quickly and play a normal game, and you will find that you will catch up to your opponent point by point because your exchanges will be a little bit better for you because you should be a little bit stronger than your opponent if you are giving them 2 stones. Otherwise, it shouldn't be 2 stones, right? All right, so black deciding to approach immediately instead of taking the open corner. I don't recommend this. It's as black, you need to play solidly, quickly, and do the best to take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses and make points faster than your opponent because you have the points. You have the points. And the knowledge. So just do it, right? Just play something solid. I recommend just playing simple, solid, and you'll be fine. You can see already white is overplaying and giving black an easy game. If black just simply surrounds the corner here, it'll already be good for black. Because now you can see black has thickness on the outside, white has very small points on the inside, and a weak stone on the outside. So this will be easy for black to take advantage of. Instead, black feels under pressure. I think, guys, already both players are having the psychological illusions of the handicap game. It is white feels like he has to be overly aggressive, overplay, and demolish his opponent in order to catch up. That is not true. And black feels like, oh, my opponent's stronger than me. His over attacks are going to be so powerful. That is not true. Come on, guys. If you think about it, if you were playing this against an even opponent, what would you do? Would you do this? No, you would not. If you were playing a 13Q versus a 13Q, I would not be trying this. I would be trying something simpler like so, and then getting to that open corner. I would not be trying this against my own level, so that means you probably shouldn't try it in a handicap game. Don't panic, guys. Don't fall for the psychological illusion that things work when they don't. Just because it's a handicap game doesn't magically make things work when they usually don't. So now white's playing really slow here. This move doesn't really do anything. You should be extending here and extending here to make a basis for both your groups. This move is really, really slow and a common 12Q mistake. It looks like he's trying to come into black, but it's really small. I mean, who cares? Black can just surround here, right? Black defending, no reason to defend locally. This is really, really slow. And finally getting this round, which is really nice. And white gets cut apart here. Well, never mind. White should get cut apart here. However, since the outside stone at C14 is a little damaged, it is a little bit more effective to play this move in this certain shape. So make sure you remember that shape, and don't invest on the outside if you're going to push and cut. Push and cut. Otherwise, don't push and cut. Don't invest because once you damage a stone and then you reinvest in it, you're just overly damaging yourself, and it really, really hurts. It's a bad combination. It's not a good combination. However, white played on the inside. Black does get the outside influence, and now we see again white playing the small move. It is much better to connect here. Because you have a follow-up at A13 later, it will give you better endgame. This is quite a big difference. You can say it's about a 5-point difference to do this. So 4 to 5. In this case, it's probably Sente, right? So actually, it's about 4 to 5 point difference. So white lost a chance to gain about 2 to 4 more points. So you can see this is a little bit of a loss for white, plus co-threats. So there's always that. Now white is trying to stop black from getting anything. This isn't how you play, guys. You try to get more than your opponent. You don't try to make your opponent get nothing. That is not the goal of the game. You do not win if your opponent gets 0 points. You win if you have more points than your opponent. Well, maybe you win if your opponent gets 0 points, but that's not how you're supposed to try to win. You're supposed to try to win by getting more than your opponent, and you do that by getting something. Get something first, and then you can think about, hey, what am I doing? Get a position to work with. You can't say, I'm not going to let my opponent get anything. That's practically impossible if your opponent has any skill whatsoever. See, again, White's trying to stop his opponent from getting anything. And you get pretty much, I think that's how the rest of this game is going to go, is White's overplaying everywhere, and it's all going to be how Black responds to it. So White is playing nothing but bad moves so far, or almost nothing but bad moves, because there's still an open corner, guys. Get to the open corner. Neither player is getting to the open corner. This is the basics of basics. Open corners first, then open side. So if you guys aren't doing that, then obviously you're not playing the game properly. There's nothing to worry about here. Get to that open corner. Get the points. The game is based on points. If you're not sticking to the basics, then what's your plan? What's your strategy? How are you planning on winning this game? The basics are your guidelines for playing good moves. Open corners, open sides, and then the biggest area. Attack your opponent's weaknesses is fine, but I mean, you have to make sure you're gaining more by attacking than that open corner is worth, because your opponent ignores and gets that open corner, then what's your profit locally? So get to this open corner, then you can attack your opponent's weaknesses, and you can see White has like hardly anything on this board. Black has a ton of influence, and Black has like 2 corners plus influence on the left. So this is hugely in Black's favor if Black plays this way. I think this is actually more than 2 stones handicap now. I think White has actually made it worse for himself than when he started. So you can see Black trying to attack the weakness now. Normally you would do that. However, I'm not sure what he's going to gain here, because White should be able to play very lightly here. Don't attack there. There's no reason to defend this, right? No reason whatsoever to play there. It's 1 point, no biggie. Make it a false eye if you're trying to keep White dead or weak. Which should be fine actually, and then you can get the surround like so and build this area. However, this area is not worth building if your opponent just takes it here or here. Then what are you building? There's a white stone in it now. So get to that open corner and then build it by attacking. So actually, instead of this, just play this. Then when your opponent does something, you can actually surround this in Sente, and then you can see that, holy crap, look at that area. Even if your opponent plays here, you just live, you get surrounded. Who cares? Who cares? As long as you don't die, look at what you're getting as Black. Just make your moves more valuable. Make your moves worth more, and you will see you'll be getting much more than your opponent. White is getting White is practically getting nothing. All he's doing is trying to stop Black from getting stuff. Black, you got to get to the big moves faster. You're not getting to the big moves at all. This is 1 point. This is end game, so this is pointless. This is Dame. Does it even work? No, it doesn't. This doesn't even work, does it? But Black defended. Okay, so guys, I can't really say much else about this game because every single move is slow. Slow. Finally, we get to the open corner, and you can see this is the biggest issue, guys. Biggest issue for both players. Neither player is getting to those big moves. And that's pretty much the highlight of everything I've seen so far. Neither player getting to the big moves. Neither player playing valuable moves. And if you look at the overall territory, we can see White has A and B and C. Black has D and the E. We don't even have F yet because that's still invadable. So surprisingly, actually, the territory is roughly equal. So think about this for a second, guys. Both players have played like 70 moves, and neither of them have like more than 20 points. So 70 moves and don't even have more than 20 points. Think about that. So what did the 70 moves get? What did the 70 moves do? So if the moves aren't getting something, aren't worth something, then they're better off not even being played. So both players pretty much not playing valuable moves. Both players trying to stop each other from getting anything. And let's see, I think that's going to be the highlight. There's a lot of reading issues as well, but the reading issues are a secondary thing. The reading issues are what you fix after you start making territory. So until you start making territory, all the reading in the world won't help you. I mean, there's no point in reading if you're not even playing in the right areas. So, like here, oh, read locally. He can push in. I can't block him, so I need to defend. No, that's pointless reading. That's a waste of time reading. No, you should be playing big move. Actually, there's almost no big moves left. Okay, so play here, build the center maybe, not even that. Big move here, threaten to cut here, build up this position here, maybe even attack your opponent here, then build up the center like so, and maybe make some points. Make something. Make your moves valuable. Make your moves valuable. Way too late to invade. This probably is gonna die. Okay, so it's a co. Never mind, it's alive. Now it's, what is it? That's still alive, okay. Small. Dame. Oh, there we go, there's a few points. There's a few points. There's a reduction of some points. All right, dame, Hey, there went those points white worked so hard to build because white was greedy. And disaster. Not reading, disaster. Black can actually just ladder this. Not reading equals disaster. Careful, black. Careful, black. All right, and game over. Because that means no player has points. So if something dies, it has to be game over, right? I mean, if neither player has points and a big group dies, then that player obviously has more points now. So if you look on this board, both players actually have probably less than 50 points. On average, professional players have about 70 points, but that's because they're extremely fast and extremely good at reducing their opponent. And if a professional player played a double-digit queue, they would have more than 100 points because they can make points very quickly. So in this game, both players have less than 50 points because both players played slowly, not because they were good at reducing their opponent. And they pretty much stopped their opponent from doing anything. So I think the highlight of this game is there's a lot of reading issues, but what you got to work on is getting to those big moves much more quickly. If you don't get to the big moves quickly, then there's no point in doing anything that you're doing. Get to those big moves first, make your moves faster, more valuable, and then you can start reading stuff out as well. And yeah, so a little tip at the start of each and every turn, and I would write this down. First, at each and every move, the first thing you do is ask yourself, where are my weak groups? If you have a weak group, probably you should defend it, and try to defend efficiently and defend it in one move. Secondly, where's my opponent's weak groups? If your opponent has weak groups and you can attack it in Sente and gain profit in Sente, this means that you end in Sente. If you're not attacking in Sente, then you better gain something ginormous locally. So attack it in Sente, gain local profit. You're not trying to kill, you're gaining profit. And then question 3, where's the big move? Open corner, open side, big area. And the big area means to build it if it's yours, reduce or invade it if it's your opponent's. Do this at every single move. Ask yourself those 3 questions. It should make your moves more valuable. Now, when you review your games, take that sheet of paper or whatever you just wrote those questions on and ask yourselves those 3 questions when you review your games at the start of each and every single move. When you review your games, see if each of your moves did answer those questions. If it didn't, what's the point of those moves? If your opponent Tanuki'd and got to that open corner because you were attacking, then perhaps your attack wasn't good. And if your opponent got to a big move and you were attacking, then did you gain something locally more valuable than that big move? If not, then you probably should have just went and played the big move. See what I mean? Get to those big moves much more quickly, guys. Make your moves more effective. All right, hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully this will help you improve and make your moves more valuable. Remember, if you guys want a chance to submit your games for a chance to get it reviewed, please see the link in the description below. Please try and submit at least one game a week or one game every other week to help keep this series going, because if you guys do not submit games, this series will get canceled. All right, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helped you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Till then, bye-bye.